Well, hello, it's Wednesday, so it must be time for Woolly Hats Wednesday Whip, and I apologise for not being with you last week, but I was just recovering from my holiday. Yes, we're now back home. I had hoped to bring you the Wednesday Whip from under the damson tree, but it's rather windy today. I didn't want the camera to blow over because that might shock you. Anyway, here we are in sunshine, a little bit windy, having recovered from the holiday, done all the washing and all that kind of stuff, and started planning a new holiday. I'll tell you about that later. So, what have I been doing? Well, you might remember on holiday I was making the Shetland Wool Week hat, and now I have finished it. Da, da, da. There you go. So, Shetland Wool Week have a hat for the year, each year. So, look at that. Marvellous. And this year, this is the pattern, and they do it in lots of different colourways. This is using Jaimeson and Smith's yarn, and it's all Shetland wool, so it's all grown in Shetland. And the great thing about Shetland wool is it's very rough. It feels soft, but it's quite it's got a lot of friction, and so it doesn't move. So when you're doing something like Fair Isle, you don't want your yarn to move and cause gaps. It works really, really well. It almost felts it, but I think the colour combinations are absolutely brilliant. There are one or two little deviations from the pattern, but on the whole I'm very pleased with it. So there we go. There is a little tassel to put on the top, and so you can see with Fair Isle you use two colours on each row, and that's the back there. So really enjoyed doing that, and I shall really enjoy doing it. And well, I've got one or two little ends to put in there, but most of the ends are sewn in, because I have got a hat that I made about 4 years ago and I still haven't sewn that ends in. So there we go. So a nice hat for possibly not the summer, but the winter. So that's that. It's got green in, which will go with my coat. So before Christmas, before I went away on holiday, I showed you a fisherman's rib jumper that I was making for Mr. W. And I'm pleased to say that having come back, I managed to finish the sleeve and sew everything up. So here is the fisherman's rib jumper. So they are. And Mr. W is delighted with it. So it's made from West Yorkshire Spinners Croft yarn Aran weight, and it's again Shetland wool, and it's lovely and warm and whatever. Anyway, the fisherman's rib. You instead of just it's knit one purl one. Instead of doing just a normal knit one purl one, you actually carry the yarn. You make a loop with the yarn when you're doing your knit stitch, and that on this one the purl stitch, and that makes that nice sort of really accentuated rib. So that's the normal rib there, and then that's the fisherman's rib, and it's a lovely way of getting a nice dense fabric, and it's quite stretchy. It is lovely, and I love the colours. They're really good. So Mr. W chose well there. I've enjoyed doing that. It's not a complicated pattern. It's got a raglan sleeve, so you have to be careful about that, making sure you count all your rows. But it's very good. And then you've got just a crew neck there, so that's picking up, and used a circular needle for that. I also adjusted the length of the arms to make sure that they would fit Mr. W, and it does. So there you go. So that is two projects finished. So that's great. And then the other thing that I showed you on holiday was my sock. So here's the sock. So it's that way. There's the heel. I'm on the foot. This is still the first one, and I was doing a lacy pattern. And some of you might remember that. This is called a helical. I think it's helical. It's from the Knitter magazine a couple of months ago. So it's a lacy pattern, and I thought, oh, that looks quite nice. And I forgot that I don't like doing lace. However, and the reason I don't like doing lace is that I find it difficult to get the pattern. When I'm doing Fair Isle and when I'm doing Aran, I really enjoy doing that, and I can do the pattern on that. But for some reason, I have a little mental block when it comes to lace. However, after pulling it out 3 times, I have now mastered the pattern, which is great. And again, there might be 1 or 2 variations from the pattern, but on the whole, it looks more or less what it should do. So I'm doing that. So now I'm on the foot, and then all I have to do is do another sock. So there we go. And the wool is from a lady called Woolly Tangle, who's based in North Wales, and this is hand-dyed merino sock wool, which I got from Yarn O'Clock in Mould several years ago, and it's been sitting in my sock wool drawer waiting for me to do a sock, and this is the time for it. So quite pleased with that eventually, and I think the colours are lovely. The colourway is called Silver Birch. You can see why, because it does look a bit like the bark of a silver birch, which are looking rather magnificent at the moment because all the leaves are out. So those are all my knitting projects. Nothing crochet at the moment, but potentially there will be. So now I've finished some projects, I have to think about what to do next. Now, like a lot of other knitters and crocheters, I have a number of projects that are sitting in the naughty corner that might need to be finished. So I could do some of those, or I could do something new. I will have a think about that, and I will let you know next week what my new knitting and crochet projects are going to be for the next few weeks. And later in the month, it's June, yes, I shall be, Miss W and I will be going away walking Offa's Dyke, so I shall need something in the evenings to relax with. So I'll have to think about what project to take there. So for all the latest news on what my projects are going to be, tune in next week, and I'll see you then. Bye for now.